Recording in progress.
Hello everyone, this is Chris Lawton with Intuit Health. By now I would imagine you already know that. I was just outside. It's another beautiful North Carolina day. I don't know what the temperature is, but I think it's probably 65 or so, but in the sun it's super warm. So I've never valued the warm weather as much as I do now living on the beach, because every bit of warm sunshine just pulls me to the beach. So I'm just gonna reach up here and tag some people. There's a lot of people to tag, bear with me. I'm perfecting my whole how to do everything in unison on all the different platforms and not look awkward. So, all right, so I thought I would do a little bit of recap about where we've been, what we've done so far, and then I'm gonna fill you in on what we're gonna talk about today for the topic. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about my program that I'm launching after this. So let's see. Dreams. How are the dreams going? Are you journaling about it? Have you had any informational dreams that have let you really delve into your question? I would love to hear about it. If, as you do your comments about each homework exercise, please go to that posting. So there's a post that says homework for day one. Go to that posting. It's in the guides at the top of right underneath the picture for the group, and then there's also a regular post. So either one, when you're doing your homework and you have an experience. Okay, my phone is telling me that it's not charging. Hold on one second. I have this charger that's not happy. Is that working? Nope. My phone's not charging. I twisted it. Go ahead, what? Okay. I have, for some reason, the charger that I have, once in a while, you have to twist it around. I had a session right before this, so if I'm feeling a little bit unsettled as far as having my act together, so kind of bear with me on that. So, so let's see. So we talked about homework, your dream homework. I know that some people have been writing about it already, what their dreams have been, or if they're having a little bit of struggle and not any gains within that, but don't stop. Like I said, every day, especially if you're not used to dreaming, you just have to kind of drum it up and keep talking about it and keep asking for it. So don't give up, just keep going even after the workshop is over. So I'm just going to take a moment to, I have noticed that sometimes I don't see the comments as well while I'm live streaming. So I'm just going to make sure I'm watching on another device. George is snuffling. Okay. All right, so what else have we done? I can't get your phone to tell me anything. The other things that we've done this week is comparing imagination with intuition. So I'd love to hear about that too. How has that gone for you? Have you practiced that at all? And while you're exploring all of these things that we've talked about, my other question, and I'd love to hear in the comments below, is what has been your experience, and is it bringing up any emotion? Because when we start to like increase our vision, our internal vision, we start to see things maybe that we've stuffed down or haven't noticed before. So how is that going? Are you having experiences? Hold on one second. Hey Isis, yes. Just go to the live stream if you can and see if there's any comments, just so I know. Okay, so I do want you in the comments below within this video, if you're having any feelings that are coming up, any challenging emotions, or sometimes even you may be thinking, I'm having a really great day, and then all of a sudden something is kind of blocking you, or things happen and you don't understand why they're happening. All of those are kind of symptoms of expanding your awareness. So it's really great, one, to be aware of it, write about it, and share with other people so they can compare their experience, you know, if they're having something going on too. Okay. All right, as everybody comes in, if you can just tell me hello and where you're from, how things are going, that would be really awesome. So today's subject is going to be about mapping the body. And I use the word mapping because, you know, you hear people talk about scanning your body energetically. You may go to someone, an intuitive, and maybe you have a sore hip and you want to know what's going on. So that person who's doing the reading, hi Patty, I'm here, but going to an event at once, so I'll have you on speaker in the car. Cool. So what we've been talking about is if I do a guided imagery, don't do the guided imagery while you're driving. And I am going to do a guided imagery in a little bit, so you can come back and listen to it in the replay. So we're talking about mapping the body. So you may go to an intuitive and you may say, my hip hurts. So everybody has different mechanisms of how they perform that intuitive exploration around what's going on in your body. And I have designed one for myself. Just kind of to relay a little bit about my history and the way that I've come to do what I do. I haven't been one of those people who have studied a lot under other people as far as my intuition goes, because I have always felt like, I don't know, I can take things from all different places, but I really want to rely on my own intuition because it's such a experiential thing that's different for everyone. And so everyone has different ways of accessing their gifts. I like the way that I do it, and I've kind of come to this just by taking, it's like exploring religion and all the different religions, and then you take what you think works for you and leave the rest. That's kind of what I've done, on top of really internally working on creating a system that works for myself, that is ever, it's always evolving. So when I say mapping, years ago, I was in meditation and I was brought to this place that it was interesting. I was shown it looked like a bathtub, but it wasn't a bathtub. It looked more like it was in a laboratory, but it was like a really big, some kind of metal tub of water. And I watched a woman get into the tub. There was people helping her. And when she got in under the water, her body, it was like a reflection of her came up out of the water, and it was a 3D graph. So if you imagine graph paper, but then it comes up, so it's all, the whole body is cubes. So kind of like an MRI machine, but it's not slices, it's a graph. So you could take each cube and separate them. So within the cubes, I could see all the parts of her body that weren't quite in alignment. So maybe she had fallen. Maybe someone had really been fierce with their words towards her, and that it impacted her solar plexus. Maybe she felt like she had a lot of weight on her shoulders from different things that have happened in her life, or taking everything on herself. So maybe there was a shoulder that was out of alignment. So all these blocks that I saw energetically rising above her that like replicated her body reflected her spiritual injuries, her energetic injuries. And I was told that, and I thought this was really interesting, the most profound injuries that reflect in our energy are emotional injuries, not physical injuries. Because when we're out of alignment as far as ourself, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about other people, all of our triggers, that's when we start to shift and become out of alignment. So when I'm looking at someone to read their energy, my process goes like this. And it's kind of a joke within myself, because for a long time I would look at someone and I'm going to help someone. I don't know how to help her. Hold on. I'm going to try to help someone because they're trying to get on. Let's see if I can do this. Bear with me for 1 minute, because there's someone that's trying to get on. And she can't find the live video. So I'm going to help her find it. There I am. Okay. Maybe if I tag her, let's see. Thank you for your patience. I hate to leave anyone out in the dark who's trying to come in. Let's see if that helps her. Okay, so the joke with myself is, you know, over the years, I read someone and I'll think to myself, okay, that's right or that's left. But then after the image goes away, I'll be looking at someone and I'll think, oh no, was that the right or the left? So the joke within myself is I literally say to the person, face me. So they face me, and then I just shift my mind into imagining that they are that three-dimensional graph, and then I can kind of zoom in to the graph in different parts of their body and receive the information. So yes, that is kind of a complicated thing to begin with. So we're going to just kind of zoom way out and start by just scanning the body with our mind to look at our own energy. Michelle, is that you? Did you make it? Okay, so we're going to do that guided imagery together and just explore a little bit of getting an idea of how that works and what you can see. So while we're doing that, I am going to talk you through using your imagination versus your intuition, because many of you who may be listening to the video think this is kind of a fantastical thing. Maybe not, you know, fantastical, the idea of doing it, but the idea of you doing it, right? Maybe it feels a little bit far-fetched. So I want to play with your imagination a bit within the guided imagery so that you can gain your confidence around reading your own energy. And I do want you to imagine, you don't have to believe it or, you know, feel like you can do it yet, but I want you to imagine that it is no different reading your own energy, because you're like right inside your body, right? Or reading someone else's energy that is right next to you, or reading someone else's energy that is in a completely different country. Just let that settle in a little bit, because we're all energy, and there's nothing that can get in the way of that except for your belief system. Okay. All right. I just want to, I'm scanning my brain right now to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. I think I want to tell you, before we go through the actual guided imagery, I just want to tell you a couple of stories of what's possible. If you've had readings from me and you have a physical thing that goes on in your body, you may have received that information from me, right? I might ask you, you know, does your stomach bother you, or does your left foot bother you, or do you have headaches? So when I want to talk about a little bit, how do I receive the information? What does it feel like to me? Generally, when I'm receiving information from someone else, I will feel a sensation in my body. So yesterday we were talking about the sensations, you know, the actual pinching your skin in the physical self versus feeling a sensation or creating a sensation with just your mind. So you're using the physical versus the non-physical sensations of receiving information. So when you're screening your body, it's a little bit different because you're within your own body. But if you have discomfort in a place within your body, it may intensify. And then there's another whole exploratory mechanism around, you may feel a physical sensation of discomfort, but then we can kind of zoom into the emotion that's around there and maybe the backstory of why it's there to begin with. So when I'm reading someone and I'm looking at the information, I will get a physical sensation usually. So it's not, maybe you broke your leg. I'm not going to have the sensation of a broken leg. You know, just a side note to that, if you're very empathic and you're very sensitive to other people's pain, when you start to feel other people's stuff intentionally, you're scanning their body and you're looking for like injuries or trauma, it may hurt. Just to kind of put that out there, the sensations vary from person to person and how they receive the information. For me, it's pretty subtle. Sometimes it can be to the point of maybe taking my breath away. But so the really, really important thing to remember is, remember it's not yours. Really state in your mind, this is not mine. This is whomever you are with. And then another practice, this is something you can practice, tune down to where you're comfortable. Understand that you are in charge. And what a great practice, if you're having a sensation from reading someone else, and then you can practice how much sensation you want to have, that can translate into when you're in an empathic situation and you're feeling someone else's anger, sadness, stuff, you are in charge. And that's the first place to start. Because when people are, I hear it all the time, I'm very empathic and I feel everybody's stuff and it's a burden, especially some of us are like thinking that we need to save the world, and you feel the world's, weight on your shoulder and what everybody is going through. You have a choice of how much, and to understand that power within you of you can determine how much you want to feel. When you start to practice it, you have to practice, because if you're used to just feeling everything and feeling, some of us, it's the healers, right? You want to be responsible, you want to heal everything you possibly can, but it's not good for you. And I would love to hear, hey JJ, I would love to hear your experiences of being empathic, being sensitive, and how other people's stuff affect you. If you could put that in the comments, that would be really helpful for other people to see. And if you've had the experience of kind of removing yourself from feeling like you needed to save the world to feeling like I'm going to heal myself, make sure I'm straight so, I can shine my light everywhere I go. That's the thing. Heal yourself. You're a walking balm. You're a walking remedy for the stress of the world. But it's our responsibility to work within first, so that then you can just, it's like you're walking with a torch, and everybody you touch and talk to is affected by your brilliance. And that's where you want to come from. You can't just go out and save the world, because it hurts, right? Who understands that? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings about that. Okay, so, and I guess just going back a little bit about the stories as far as being able to scan your body or scan someone else's body with your intuition and see what's going on. One of the really great times to do that practice for yourself is right when you wake up in the morning. How do we practice? It's coming, Hiba, it's coming. I'm gonna do a guided imagery to walk you through a beginning. So if you weren't here earlier, I was talking, and I would encourage everybody, if you're coming in now, go back to the beginning of the video, after maybe 5 minutes within the video, because I talk about what mapping is and why I came to the conclusion that is the best way to approach scanning your body, and how we're going to kind of zoom out and have an easy lesson today, a beginner lesson. Patty, I find being empathic can be received by those around you as being judgmental. If the energy you're picking up is there, anything Patty, are you driving? I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Let me read that over again. I find being empathic can be received by those around you. Oh, what a great observation, Patty, because when I first started doing all of this, I'll admit it, I was a real jerk. I would see stuff. You see stuff, right? If you're sensitive, you see other people's stuff. And then you want to tell them about it. And you want to say, like, I see this, or you're doing this, or, this is just my story. But I definitely was perceived as judgmental. And I look back at it now, and I was, because their stuff was triggering my stuff, which created like a response within me. And honestly, it was none of my business, right? It was none of my business to be like, being sensitive to everybody's stuff. And then this was an ex-husband I'm talking about. Like, I would be like, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should fix this, because I was, intuiting his stuff. But it's a fine line between what's healthy and what's not. And you are so right about, you know, we can be perceived as judgmental, and we can also be judgmental. It all depends, you know, where you're at and how it's coming across. Sorry, I was using voice text. I figured you were, if the energy you were picking up is anything but positive. In other words, it's negative energy you're picking up. Yeah, yeah. I hope I talked about that right. And at least, like, I'm telling you a story about myself, because that triggered me, right? It triggered me into telling you about my experience. Okay. Okay, Hiba, here we go. We're going to do a guided imagery. I can relate, still doing it, but I love to give advice. I hope it doesn't seem judgmental, so I don't know. Yeah, you know, I think all you can do is check in with your motivation of why you're saying what you're saying. And if it's coming from a healthy you, and it's being given with love and not duplicity. I love that word duplicity, because we live in a very duplistic world, right? There's black and white, there's right and wrong. But if we rise above all that and we're in an energetic, healthy place that, you know, when I talk to people who aren't here anymore, that's where the information is coming from. That is not a duplistic place, but here it's duplistic. So, you know, everybody, there is a place of right or wrong. So yeah, if you're coming from a real good, healthy, loving place, if the other person has trouble receiving it, maybe it's on them, you know, and it's okay. And what I have learned too is I say things, I try to come from a good place, but I know that sometimes it can be almost perceived as harsh, because it's hard for people to hear something that is like their stuff, their big thing. So sometimes you may give advice and it may not feel good at the moment, but I guarantee you a lot of times, a month later, 2 months later, it like hits the right spot. And I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but you know, people will come back and say, you were right, but I couldn't see it at that moment. So in Hiba also, you know, if you are, I know that you are a healer, and sometimes it's just your job. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes people aren't ready to hear it, and it's just kind of on us to, you know, choose the right words and come from a loving place. Thank you for that. All right, so we're just gonna do a little meditation about scanning your body. And we're going to use some guided imagery and intuition. And as we're like compounding what we've learned throughout the week, using your imagination, using your intuition, we're going to combine those. And then also be aware if you're using your physical senses or if you're using the non-physical senses. And there is no right or wrong, again, around physical or non-physical, because you don't want to discredit the physical, imagining you're using your intuition, so you should be using all non-physical. If you put it all together, how many senses are there? A whole bunch, so that way you can get lots and lots of information. Okay, so just take a deep breath and close your eyes. And it's very important doing this exercise that you want to be not distracted, and you want to bring yourself within your body, because we're working within the body. And I hope George's snoring isn't too distracting. All right, so just take some deep breaths. Pay attention to your breathing for a moment and explore whether you're breathing at just the top of your chest, or if you're really allowing yourself to fill the lower part of your breath. Try to begin your breath at the bottom, expanding your belly and expanding your lower lungs, and then bringing the breath all the way up to your shoulders and letting it out. Just do that a couple of times. And then I want you in your mind to state your intention. So our intention today is to begin to explore seeing and being a witness to our own physical energy within our body. So you can say what I said, you can create your own words, but set your intention. Our bodies are magnificent and our mind is magnificent, and it will do miraculous things. And it can hear and understand. Our cells respond. So the more we ask and the more we set our intentions, then it all will help us get to where we want to go. So now we're going to start with our imagination. So what I want you to do is imagine a gold ball. It can be maybe the size of a tennis ball, right in front of you. So you're just watching that gold ball. And then with your breath, I want you to let it expand as you breathe in, contract as you exhale. So that gold ball is right in front of you. And this is a little bit where your intuition comes. You can kind of watch what it's doing. So you've created the ball with your imagination. But what the ball does is your intuition just standing back and being the witness. So as you're breathing, it expands, and as you exhale, it contracts. And then I want you to take that ball, and to begin with, I want you to bring it down to your left hand. And this is all in your imagination, so you don't have to move your body. We're just using this ball to create your imagination, your intention, and your intuition. So take that gold ball in your left hand and then throw it gently up in the air and catch it in your right hand. And we're just going to play ball with this gold ball a little bit. So you're throwing it up in the air and catching it one hand at a time. And I want you to really focus in on, this is a ball that is all in your imagination and it's floating. There's no gravity within our imagination, unless that's just happening, and then you can take note of that. So just throw it up and catch it. Throw it up and catch it. And then I want you to bring the ball to your left hand. Just let it sit in your left hand, and as you're breathing, I want that ball to become bigger and smaller with your breath. And I want you to imagine, what are you feeling? So this ball of light is in your hand, and you're working with this energy, so you're increasing the vibration of the energy. What does it feel like in your hand? And then when you're done with that hand, bring it over to your right hand, and I want you to do the same thing. Feel the energy of it in your hand. With your breath, let it become bigger and smaller, stronger and weaker maybe, and feel the energy. And then I want you to bring the ball into the middle and hold it with both hands with your imagination. And then kind of releasing the focus on the ball, but leave it between your hands. I want you to focus on your left palm right in the middle of it. And create a little ball of white light. And you're going to send that white light through the gold light to your other hand. And it's kind of ping-ponging back and forth. And again, be aware of the sensation. So what this is doing is, you're imagining, and then you're also being a witness to, what are you intuiting? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Is it changing color? Are you having trouble? Is it growing from paying attention to the energy? Okay, then I want you to let go of that imagery and bring that gold ball back to over the crown of your head. And we're going to use this gold ball as an illuminator. So as you start at the crown of your head, I want you to bring the gold ball down a little bit, right into the center of your mind. And as it sits there, it's like a flashlight. So as it sits there, I just want you to pay attention to what are the thoughts that come up. So we're kind of scanning your mind right now. And as that illuminates the center of your mind, are there parts of your crown, your jaw, your eyes, your nose, that you may see something that catches you? So it may be that a part of it doesn't illuminate. It may create some pain or sensation within the inside of your head. Just take note. Don't try to change it. Don't think anything is wrong. We're just learning about different things that our mapping of our body may need some assistance. And then take that gold light now and start at the back of your neck, at your spine. And what we're going to do is we're going to illuminate our body going down our spine. So as if it's a flashlight, I just want you to start vertebrae by vertebrae, moving the light down, or you can move it around if you want, and just explore. There's no wrong or right. As you're moving down your spine, sometimes if anybody has back problems, you may find that the light doesn't want to go to different places. Like it might stop, it may be blocked, or one side might be brighter than the other. You can move it away from your spine if you want to explore your shoulders. Put that gold light right within your shoulder. And during this time, what you're doing is you're seeing with your internal eyes, and you're also allowing yourself to receive any information that just may pop into your mind. You know, all of a sudden we have an idea that pops up, or we think about somebody we haven't thought of. That popping up of ideas is what we're watching for. So continue to move that gold ball down your spine and down your spine, exploring anywhere you'd like to. And really making note, if you see something that's significant that you want to remember, just kind of file it away, because we're going to write it all down when we're done. And then as you move that gold ball, you can move it within your pelvis, your lower back, and then explore down each leg. It's very telling if you take the energy of this gold ball and you move it down each leg. Again, you may find areas it doesn't want to go. It may not flow as easily. And also, legs are a really good place when you're working with energy like this. If you have any blocks or injuries, trauma, anything like that, when this gold ball hits that area, you may feel a sensation, tingling, heat, cold, pain, or it's almost like a energetic throbbing. All of those things can happen. And then go ahead to the other leg and move the ball down your other leg. Don't forget your feet. Many of us have problems with our feet, discomfort with your feet. So you want to scan your feet also. And then when you're all done with the scanning process, we're going to do kind of a fun thing. I want you to take the gold ball and put it out in front of you, and then I want you to imagine that it gets a shower. A good thing to imagine is salt water, or you can take it to the beach in your imagination and just clear off this ball and be aware of, does this ball feel like there's sediment or something on it? Is it still gold, or does it seem like it's been tarnished or it has muck on it? That's another thing to key into and pay attention to. It will, as we explore deeper and deeper within the body with the energy, you'll understand that there is, you know, a lot of times there will be lingering old energy. If you've been through anything like radiation, that will hang out in your energy field. So it's something that will kind of come onto whatever, like if we're using this ball. And it's basically, for me, I've always kind of accepted it as, okay, this is information that I need to be, you know, I need to clear my energy field. Okay, so now you can take your ball and you can do whatever you want. You can stick it in your pocket for later. You can stick it in a box. You can just let it go. Whatever you'd like to do. It's a really handy tool. Even if you're having pain within your body, you can take this gold ball and put the gold ball where the pain is, and it's very helpful to soothe pain. Okay, so you can start to open your eyes and get into your body, give it a little wiggle, wiggle your hands and feet, and then anything that you may have experienced, write it down. I would love to hear about it in comments. Share, share, share. It's really important so other people can see what your experience is. I'd be glad to help you, you know, with what you saw if you have any questions about it. And then, you know, you can take a moment to write it down in your notebooks also. And maybe the question is, what do I do with this once I receive the information? That's another whole class right there. But if there's something that you really saw and it feels concerning to you, feel free to share it in the comments or just private message me, and I'll help you however I can with that and guide you, you know, to the next step. All right. So I'd love to hear if anybody had anything special happen during that. George is snoring, snoring, snoring. All right, for the rest of the time, and I'm just kind of waiting, I'll wait for any comments to come through. I want to talk about my new thing that's coming up. And also I want to just make the announcement that last night I came on for a little while, did some readings and a little conversation. It was really nice. So I think I'm going to come back on tonight. It'll be, I'm not going to make a definite commitment to time, but I would say between 8 and 8:30 I'll come on. And if you'd like a short reading, if you want to talk about anything that you've explored during the workshop that's kind of brought up questions or any experiences, we can talk about it there. And I'd also be happy to have you come on the camera. A lot of people don't like to do that, but it's so much nicer to be able to have a conversation with you than, you know, waiting for you to type back your responses. It's much more engaging to be able to converse with you. So, all right, so I want to talk about this whole workshop, tingling, let's see, tingling and weird sensations that I can't describe. Where were they? Where were the sensations? Or was it all over? And the very basic thing about doing this, like if I was to say one thing about doing this and then having the sensations, is you are becoming aware of your energy. It's that subtle feeling, that subtle ability to be able to have that experience, to know that you are an energetic being. And it's the subtlety, the subtle energy that you're becoming familiar with. So mostly wherever I move the ball, yeah. So that could be just becoming aware of your energy, you know, becoming aware of the subtle feeling. It's a shift of awareness. And it could be, we would have to like ask about this or, you know, do a little reading about it. It could be stuff that's just sitting on top of you that you need to get off. So when you raise your vibration, because we're raising our vibration, when we're working with that gold energy, it kind of sloughs off the stuff that may be sitting on us, and it feels better. You'll feel better when you're done. And I would ask you, did you notice after you were all done with the gold ball, what did it look like? Did you notice any, any energy around it, or did it need to be cleaned? I guess that would be my question. Okay, so I want to do this because this whole 5-day experience, and we have one more day, was all about giving you a taste or a slice of mastering your intuition through self-discovery. And this is a program that I'm rolling out. I am so super excited. I have worked towards this for years and years. It's been in my mind to do, and now I'm finally feeling, I don't know, it's like someone turned the light on, and I'm finally feeling in the right place in my growth to be able to help whoever wants to be helped to enjoy discovering about themselves and working through your stuff. Let's see. She says, no, I made my ball sprinkle gold and sent it to the heavens and thanked God when I was done. I love that. That's awesome. And that's so funny. I think about like a disposable, this is a completely new idea for me, but I work with the gold energy all the time with other people and myself. And it almost feels like a ball that you would save and use over and over, or a disposable ball that you just send away and you get a new one for the next time. So I love that whole, like, I don't know, it's a little bit of mind expanding of choices, right? Thank you for that. I love that. All right, so this program, it's going to start the Monday, a week from tomorrow. And, but it will be a revolving start date. So once a month it will be open for enrollment. And what it entails, it's a 12-week program. I'm going to look at my notes to make sure I'm giving you all the full discovery of it. It's for 12 weeks. What is within those 12 weeks is a 2-hour class twice a week. So it's a 4-hour total live class with everything that we're doing. Everything will have a replay. So like this, I'm here, we can talk together, there's conversation, but there's always the replay. So if you can't make it, there's the replay, and you can do it on your own time. The other thing that is within this is 4 1-hour one-to-one sessions with me that are private. So within your 12 weeks, it's like every 3rd week you get a one-to-one. It would probably be on video session with me. It would be intuitive coaching, so you can work on whatever you want to, whatever you may be stuck on, whatever may be feeling like it's in the way and you really want to work your way through it, or whatever questions that you have. It's your time. We can talk about whatever you want to. There will also be a Facebook group for community and support, so it'll be similar to this, but it will not be this group. It'll only be people who are within the program. There'll also be a comprehensive workbook to assist with your self-discovery. So there's going to be a lot of homework in a good way. So this workbook will help you keep track of what's going on, to take notes, and there'll be different homework projects that you can do. Also, there will be emails and texts 5 days a week. It was so funny. At first, I'm like, I'll do it every day, but everybody needs a couple days off. So 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, you will receive a email, text, however you would like to receive it. Basically, it's me saying, here's a really cool project for the day. It'll be about discovering something about yourself and using your intuition, and it will all build upon each other. So you're going to peel away the onion, the peels of the onion, the layers and layers, so that we're discovering more and more about ourselves, so you can allow your brilliance that's hiding inside, right? you will always have my support throughout your journey for the 12 weeks. So anybody who's worked with me, they know they can reach out to me, and unless I'm really busy, I will get back to you in a very short amount of time. So this program will crack you open. This program will change you, and you will feel things that maybe aren't comfortable, especially when you're challenging yourself. So I will be there to support you. And then the other thing is a buddy up program with classmates with assignments throughout. So each month you will be with a different buddy. So this person will become your person to work different projects with. So it will be this experiential thing with this other person to be able to form a deep enough relationship that there is trust, which is a thing for people, right? So right there, it's a challenge. And then to be able to practice readings, practice using your gifts. And of course, because I know that may sound intimidating to some people who don't want just some random buddy to hang out with, we will make sure you're partnered up with someone who feels comfortable. So that's what that's the basic package of what this program is. And then I'm going to list out a couple of things that we're going to highlight and work on. You will learn how to communicate with your loved ones who have passed. You will learn to create therapeutic guided imagery for yourself. So as we're working through this imagery, thank you. While we're working through like the imagery that we're working with together, we will help you, or I will help you create a process so that you can do that on your own for whatever the circumstance may be that you're looking for your answers. Energy mapping, like we talked about in today's class, we're going to start from square one and be able to create. I will share with you my process and how to do it, and then also allow you, room to create your own process. But at the end, you will have a pretty good basis of how to energy map for yourself or someone else. Defining what is a physical sense and what is a non-physical sense, we'll go deeper into that in a lot of practice, because the more that you are in tune with those things and how it works, you will have a whole toolbox full of senses to use your intuition. Start to understand how to access your energy, just like we did today, but in a way deeper way. Challenging your belief systems, lots of exercises to challenge your belief systems, because once you get those old belief systems out of the way, you will become more of who you actually are. Repairing relationships with lost loved ones. A lot of times those relationships with people who have already passed may get in the way of our personal growth. And there is a gold mine of information within that structure. So we're going to get to know our loved ones on the other side, who they are now, and why we were on this journey together to begin with. Understanding established triggers, who's not triggered sometimes, right? And that creates responses within us that maybe we don't want anymore. So we start to work on what are your triggers and why are they there, and how do we get rid of them. Your superpower versus your coping mechanisms. I just did a session with someone that this was definitely a thing. We have a very powerful strength that we believe that we have, but sometimes it was established way back in our childhoods as a coping mechanism. So now we're really good at it, but sometimes for the wrong reasons. So we can start to understand that and then use our superpower in a healthy way instead of, as a protective way for our younger parts to cope. Parts work. This is a little bit about what I just mentioned. Parts work. It's an incredible thing. You start to get to know all your parts that were created in your younger life, why they act the way they do to create self-sabotage. So we're going to learn all about that and decrease the self-sabotage so that we can just embrace and show compassion to our younger selves that all are having an experience at the same time. We'll learn about healing our own body and how that works. And then lastly, but of course, it's almost the foundation of everything we're doing, is meditation and breath work. All the time, meditation and breath work. Very powerful. So that's kind of a overview of the curriculum and the package. The whole program, sometimes when you hear people talking about, here's the program, and we don't talk about money, right? I'm just putting it out there. I feel so good about this program. Some of you saw my post. There's a little video with all the information within here that I just talked about. None of this was on purpose. It was not pre-planned. It just worked out this way. We started this workshop on 11/11 at 1 o'clock. So if you do anything with numbers, 111, all ones. And then I posted the video last night. It's like a little advertisement for this program. And it is 1 minute and 11 seconds. None of it was on purpose. And I have this wonderful connection with this coach. I told her about it. And she's like, the universe is literally putting up a billboard for you. And that's how I feel. So as far as the price goes, it's $1,500 for the 12 weeks. So much information and value within this. And I'm really flexible about payment plans. If you want to pay weekly, if you want to pay monthly, the only thing that I ask is if we're setting up a payment plan for you, that it's on an auto draft, which means within my app, a lot of people save their credit cards, and then I can automatically charge your credit card. Of course, if there's a problem, you can always let me know, ahead of time, but it just really saves me a lot of work of, figuring out the whole process. So I'm happy to figure it out financially for you within the payment plan with the auto draft. So this program starts not this Monday, tomorrow, but the following week. If you're interested, if you want more information, just reach out to me and we can talk about it. I'll actually meet you on video so that we can have a real conversation about it. And maybe this is something that sounds awesome and you're like, I'm uncomfortable about time, I'm uncomfortable about money, or whatever it may be. Let's just talk about it and see if we can work it out. I'm there with you. And I'm just so excited about this that all those ones, how can it go wrong? So if you think this might be something for you, just reach out and we can talk. Whew. All right, so let's see. I want to see where I am with time. I think we're doing pretty good. All right, so does anybody have any questions right now? You can write it down in comments. I'm happy. It's so beautiful out this afternoon. I'm going to go for a walk on the beach again. I posted a post last night. We went to the beach and the sunset was just amazing. And I literally was in tears driving home because I'm so in love with where I live. So it was just beautiful. So every day I'm going back there as long as the weather is good. So I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. We have one more day. That's tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do is put together a little touch of everything that we have talked about so far this week. If you're watching the replay or if you are here now, please try to make it, just so that we can, it would be so great to just see everybody. I know a lot of people are working, but if you're here, to write in the comments, tell me how your week's been. Tell me if you have any questions. This group will continue to be open. I will continue to make posts, and we're going to be doing this workshop once a month. So if you love this workshop, I'll put the announcement in about a week for the next workshop. You can just sign up again. There is no obligation to sign up for this program, you can come and do the free workshop. I'm loving talking to you guys, and you know, eventually if you decide you want to jump in, that's great. If you're just going to do this, that's great too. All right. So I'm going to say good afternoon to everyone, or good night, Hiba. I think you're, it's probably nighttime where you are, if I'm right. I don't know the time zones. I'm bad sometimes. All right. So if you only caught the end of the video, go back and watch the replay. There's a lot of great information at the beginning. So have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye.